welcome to the Amalfi Coast.
You're cool like diamonds. New ice, new ice, new ice shining in my tank, little rocket fuel. I just wanna be cool like you. Cool like diamonds. New ice, new ice, new ice shining, chasing you like the sun and moon. I just wanna be cool like you. I just wanna be cool like you. I just wanna be cool like you.
No bueno. No bueno. This view at the top better be worth it. This is the Path of the Gods hike. It's actually a super manageable hike once you pass the initial staircase to get up here. That was challenging and brutal. The backpack that I'm using, not good for this. It's absolutely punishing my back. Peak Design, 45 litre travel bag, best bag I own, but boy, it needs a redesign. It is not very supportive on the back, and I've packed light for this trip. I only took the 7200 A1, 2470 and the Mavic.
I'm just feeling myself. I'm just feeling myself. Don't know if you could tell, yeah, but I'm just feeling myself.
We're on the way back down from the Path of the Gods, and it was a pretty manageable hike, to be honest, once you're up the top. But it's this staircase, 1,800 steps, 1,800. As soon as you're going up, man, you feel that burn.
Feel the burn, we can feel the burn.
It is just quads and glutes all day. The views you get from the top of Positano and the surrounding towns is really, really cool and worth the journey. I'm glad I got up and got out of my funk this morning when I was tired. I'm not much of a morning person, so I got up and I did it, and I'm happy, but it wasn't without complaining this morning. The view's pretty sweet. That's Positano, that's where we're staying, and Amalfi's back over that way somewhere. We're heading there tomorrow morning. This is our last night here, this is our second night. We've got the hardest bed in Europe, which is, you know, it is what it is. My back needs to be laid out from time to time, but it's an absolutely awesome apartment with an awesome view from the balcony, and it's got a washing machine, which has been absolutely crucial because, man, the heat over here and the sweat, I need to wash every bit of clothing I had last night. So, but onwards we trek to go get a gelato for lunch and then a nice cold shower.
There's so many cats here. Come on, so little. Careful, let them bite you.
Oh, he's in so much pain. Look at that. That's where we're staying. Not too long. Only, well, I might have to swap lenses here actually. This is where we bid our farewells for now. 7200's going on. So this is our Airbnb balcony in beautiful Positano. This, I'm not sure if you can see that behind me because I've got a shallow depth of field, but this is such a beautiful little city. It's built in this valley on these hills. Just, you wouldn't see a city built like this today because it's a silly idea. The work that goes into building these houses and how they're just perched up on top of each other and just run by these narrow little stairwells between everything is actually really quite amazing. And it's a really cool place, but it's kind of got me thinking because a lot of these regions, especially Amalfi where we're off to next and Positano where we are right now, are very much the, you know, the social media places. All these Instagram influencers and everyone comes here, they get all their content and they make it look amazing. And that's largely why a lot of tourism has come here over the past few years, because the boom of Instagram, stuff like that, showing these places off. And it got me thinking, because there's so many different influencer wannabes here, and you know, I suppose I'm probably including that. I've been vlogging while I've been here, but I don't have the fake lips and the fake, you know, everything else. Yeah. But it got me thinking, there's so much fake about social media. As we did that hike today, we did the Path of the Gods. It was 14 something kilometers from start to finish, and I was absolutely caked in sweat by the end of it. Going up the stairs at the start, I've got probably like 500 meters in, and I was sweating so hard. The sunscreen that I'd fully rubbed in had sweat out, and I was now wearing a white cream on the outside of my skin.
Say what?
But yeah, when you see the social media photos, you've got the guy and the girl in their, you know, bikini and the fresh makeup and the white linen pants and the Birkenstocks, and that's just not functional to do that hike in those clothes. You're not gonna look like that up there. The makeup's gonna be running off. The hair's gonna be sweaty and all matted. It's just not responsible to do the hike in that attire. They don't. They take the clothes, they freshen up, they do all that. They have the photographer who takes a shot for them. So everything you see on social media, the photos, the colors, the presets, the lights, everything can have at least some sort of element of fakeness to it. So I thought it'd be a bit of a cool opportunity to show the images I've taken on this trip, show the befores and the afters, because I've taken some photos I'm pretty pumped off, but when you compare the ones and the twos, they can be quite different. Now, I'm not someone who likes to do a lot of photoshopping. I like to keep it fairly organic. Colors I'm pretty happy to move around on, but I don't really like adding things that weren't there. I'll happily take out something that, you know, if it's a fence or an electric pole. But I grew up with my dad, who is a landscape photographer, and he was very much a purist. We would sit in the right place for, you know, 14 hours. I remember, I think it's the longest I remember sitting in one place for there to be no one, for there to be the right light and all that, to make sure he got the exact shot that he wanted. So I was always kind of a little bit against the whole Photoshop side of things, but now I've kind of found my own sort of journey, and I'm kind of happy with a few things. But I do think if you do a lot of manipulation, you need to make people aware that this is not an image, this is more digital art than anything. Anyway, here is a few of the shots and the befores and the afters.
Yeah, everybody deals with, and everybody's just different, but I want to talk about just be honest about what goes on in my own head. Yeah. One of the greatest temptations I'm facing right now is getting lazy with my style and saying I ain't appreciating mics down. I serve too small a market, I need a larger target. You know, a broader audience who's spending dollars on this. And as of right now, this temptation for making some crazy statements, complaining, but I know how pride sounds. I'm everybody's favorite, maybe one of the greatest, the peak of every playlist. You'd be a lame to hate this, but the truth is it's foolish to say this. So please bear with my foolishness, cause I've concluded it's stupid to fake it.
So some of those images I'm actually really happy with didn't actually look anything special as a raw. So take two things away from that. Sometimes when you take a few images and you go, I didn't really nail that, well, sometimes you can actually make something out of one of those images. And the second thing, don't believe all the hype of all the images and all the videos you see on Instagram, because when you take that filter layer away from things, they can actually look pretty shitty sometimes. While we're talking about influencers, today's music suggestion is going to be Influenced by Trapped. I haven't heard that for so long, so I'm probably going to listen to it after I finish filming this. So tonight is our last night in Positano, and we move over to Amalfi tomorrow. So probably going to go get some dinner, and I'll see you on the way to Amalfi.
I'm sorry that I ruined the night again. Spent the whole time writing stories in my head. Mad at you for no reason, thinking things you never said. I'm sorry that I ruined the night again. Ruined the night again. Ruined the night again.
Alright, so this is Amalfi. We hired a boat for the day, and well, for the half day. Got it for about 4 or 5 hours. And I definitely recommend, if you ever come to this way, get yourself a boat. We drove down to Positano where we were for the last few nights. Took about 15 to 20 minutes. super nice. It's a little bit nicer down the Positano way just because it's protected by a kind of headland. It's a bit rougher, a bit more boat traffic. So if you do it, make sure you cruise on down there. Super nice views. It's really cool seeing it from the ocean. Just gives a little bit of a different sort of perspective. But if you're here for the camera stuff and not the travel stuff, one little thing on the 2470 G Master version 2. It is a premium lens. I have noticed it's got a little bit of dust inside the lens itself, so I'm not sure if the one that I got from Sony is a pre-production model, but there's a little bit of dust in there, so hopefully they improve the weather sealing over time, because you don't really want dust getting into a premium lens like that, especially one that you're going to take absolutely everywhere with you.
I'm just feeling myself. I'm just feeling myself. Don't know if you could tell, yeah, but I'm just feeling myself, yeah. Whoa, whoa.
I made sure I flew the drone while we're out here. Taking off was a bit of an iffy one. Had it sitting down here, and because of the bumps of the waves, as soon as the boat sort of rocked, it wanted to take off, and it just sent it straight up. And then bring it down, I knew it was going to be tough. I had low battery, returned to home, was coming on, and I brought it down onto the mat, and it was wanting to come down, and then I saw a big boat about to cruise on past. I knew the waves were going to get bad, so I was just like, nah, screw it, I'm not going to be able to land it. Just brought it down, just swatted it out of the sky with my hand, and cut myself up a little bit, but she's all good. At least it wasn't a Phantom. I've had one of those hit me before, and it cut me through denim because those props don't fold, so all is well, all is good. The gimbal's fine, the drone's fine. Happy days, we will fly in Sicily.
'Cause I can hear you calling in the nighttime, in the morning, and it feels like I'm falling into your eyes, and I hate that I can't find a way to just forget, yeah, rip you from my chest, almost like you never left, 'cause I still hear you calling,
Something I just thought of that's completely unrelated to anything. When we're doing the pasta course, the lady said something which I found interesting. She said, there's no such thing as Italian food. Obviously pizza and pasta and that are classified as Italian, but it's regional food. Stuff that you eat in the south is not what you eat in the north. She said that she would never eat pesto because pesto is from the north. So it's really interesting that all the different regions have all their own specialties, and the further south you go, the tomatoes, the pomodoro, seem to get a little bit sweeter. So all the pizzas are sweeter, the pastas are sweeter, and all the food just tastes a little bit different. She said when you go somewhere, you need to order that region's specialty, not what you want to eat, if that makes sense. So just a little fun fact I found a little bit interesting. Anyway, we're gonna head to shore, return this boat, get a little bit of lunch, and I reckon I'm gonna go for a swim.
I'm sorry that I ruined the night again. Spent the whole time writing stories in my head. Mad at you for no reason, thinking things you never said. I'm sorry that I ruined the night again. Ruined the night again. Ruined the night again.
So I think that's it for the Amalfi Coast video. Tomorrow we're going to head on down to Sicily. It's going to be a long travel day, leaving early in the morning. So probably going to skip that, and the next video will start while we're in Sicily. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to follow us on Instagram if you want to see any of the other photos from this trip. Give it a big fat thumbs up, subscribe, all that sort of whatever BS. See you in the next one. Bye.
Living at a 10, we on cloud nine.